how's it going? Um, in the previous video, I touched on market structure, and I'm not sure if I spoke about shift in momentum, but I'd rather cut the concepts and all the different topics up into different videos. So if you ever are confused or if you don't know about a certain topic, that you could just go back to that specific video rather than having to find where that concept was within a video, if you understand, if you get that. So just talking about shift in momentum. Uh, so previously we spoke about market structure and how price makes higher highs and higher lows consistently until you see a break of the structure at the most recent higher low. So that most recent higher low is the most important area in the trend to look at. I recommend putting like a horizontal line there to mark the line, and if it's broken, that's when you know to look for a shift in momentum. And what I mean by that is when price comes back up, right, from here, when price starts to retrace, it shouldn't be a sharp retracement. It should take let me try to show you this. It should go something like this. It should take its time to retrace, and then when it hits your entry level, wherever that may be, maybe it was an inefficiency, a sponsored candle, a lacuna, whatever that may be, and then you expect a sharp drop. This here, at this point here, that's your shift in momentum. That's the area you're looking for to get. That will be your optimal point of entry. Let me just delete, mark this out for you. This is your shift in momentum. So this area here is going to be your optimal point of entry. It will potentially line up with like an inefficiency like this. And that's how you get your sharp reaction. You put your sell position here, for example, like so, and you just ride it down, and your take profit would be the break of structure here. So this is going to be a quick video. There's not a lot to go through for this concept. Like I said, I just want to chop the videos up into different sections to make it easier for you. But yeah, this is how you identify a shift in momentum, and how I'm going to make a video on momentum as well. But essentially what you do is you go here, and there's a data range. So you click that, and essentially how you calculate momentum is from the high to the very low, you use the tool. So from here all the way to the low, you use the tool. So that's 30 bars, right? And then if you look at how long the retracement took, it took 39 bars. So if you look at this, you know that there's a shift in momentum because there's more strength and power to the downside because you made a larger size move in a lesser amount of effort. And here, price took more effort. So if any of you've studied Wyckoff before, it's literally the law of effort. Price took more effort to make the move to the upside. So you know there is no strength to the upside, or there's a less amount of strength to the upside. So that's not the side you want to be on. You want to be on the side where price is making larger size moves in a smaller amount of time. So just to give you a example of this, let's just go to this chart here. So you can see, let me just delete this. Currently waiting for a GJ setup. So you can see here, for example, right, where price has been uptrending, yeah. So you can see, for example, from this absolute low here to this high. So from this low here to this high here took 27 bars. And then the retracement took 25 bars. Okay, that's not the best example, but you know what? Let's try to find another one. Let's look here. Okay. Oh, let's zoom into this. So from here to this high took 10 bars. So from this low here to this high structure here, it took 10 bars to make that move. So that's calculating each different candle, right? And then when you look at the retracement back down, so from the high to the low here, right? That took 20 bars. So just simply looking at this one concept here, you understand that price is easier for price to go up than it is to go down. It takes less effort for price to move upwards than it does to go downwards. So you want to be on the buying side. And obviously using this method, you will like identify, okay, cool, there's an inefficiency within this gap here. You just fib that out and then you would have got your entry somewhere in this region here. And then price obviously moved onwards and upwards. And how you calculate your shift in momentum in relation to market structure is like this. So as I mentioned here, price was showing momentum to the upside, right? And then if you look here, after we had multiple breaks of structure to the downside, for example here, price came down and wicked these lows, so in signs of strength, signs of weakness. That's not a break of structure, but it shows that there's a signs of weakness. Price breaking structure here, we have multiple candle closes below. You're like, okay, cool, this is my break of structure here, right? This is my break of structure. Calculating momentum from this high here to this low here, right? Boom, to here. That took 7 bars. It took 7 bars for price to create a, what's that, 169 pip swing. 169 pip move. It took price 7 bars to create that. But the retracement back upwards, so far, it's taken price 44 bars to do that. So it's taken price 44 bars to move upwards, whereas it's only taken price 7 bars to move downwards. So momentum, strength is to the downside. So you don't want to be, unless it's a small position and you're just hedging, and I'll get into that later, how to hedge and stuff like that. You don't want to be buying in a position like this. So let me just show you where the shift in momentum is. So for example, we have this inefficiency here. Price has tapped the inefficiency. We see some sort of rejection, right? Should we see an intraday break of structure? This is on the hourly. So if we go into the 1 minute, where price has tapped that inefficiency, should we see price come down and break, for example, I wouldn't really consider this a level of structure, but should we see price starting to break these lows here, starting to attack this here, starting to break these lows, and let's just say this low here, for example, we have a confirmation that this is going to be a shift in momentum for us. So going back to the higher time frame, should we see price reject off our higher time frame point of interest, break these levels of structure, this will be our shift in momentum. And that's just how you use momentum for to your advantage. That's your shift in momentum. As you can see, price moving down takes less effort than price moving back upwards. But yeah, as I said, this is just this is just going to be one of your confluences. This shouldn't be the deciding factor of every single trade, because as you saw previously, where was it? As you saw previously over here, that it doesn't always work. For example, here it took 25 bars to go up. So yeah, 27 bars to go upwards, but 25 to go downwards. So that means what? Momentum's to the downside. No, because there was no confluence here. There was no other, like, price didn't really line up with anything. The story price was telling didn't make sense. It didn't make sense, basically. So understanding here, we have multiple breaks of structures. Price is showing signs of weakness and a willingness to move lower, we can now use momentum to identify an extra confidence for our trade, to just to build confidence in your setup. But yeah, besides that, thank you guys for listening, and on to the next.